So if you are not ready for a mega strike from the railroads, well, get ready, because we are about to see complete collapse, a huge disaster, and this is something that Democrats were trying to avoid. Now, I've talked about this over the past week or so, and I've mentioned this multiple times. Even though there's a so-called tentative deal, right, that the unions and the carriers put together with the help of some political swaying, right? We still know there had to be a vote. That vote was conducted on Thursday. That's when the vote started. That means they're going to now tally the votes over the next couple weeks, or who knows, maybe a potential month or two. Then they will know whether or not the members are deciding to strike or to accept the deal. But I want to explain what's going on here, because there's now articles, there's reports, there's statements from workers. I've been getting countless messages from people that do work for the railroads that have said, no, they will not accept this deal. Now, I want to touch on one that's coming from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. And here it is right here. It says, U.S. rail agreement was presented as a done deal. Now that they've seen it, workers disagree. They are disagreeing. They do not like this deal. Why is this? Well, I want to show you this. I want to show you what's actually in it. Why people do not like what is being given to them. Because again, they've been fighting for this for years. Well, here's what I can tell you. Look at this. Here's what's in the deal. First off, here's what we know. As expected, the agreement contains a cumulative 24% raise over 5 years. It also comes with a $1,000 yearly signing bonus, right? A little bit of a here you go. Thanks for doing all that you've done and taking this deal pretty much. But let's address it again. Look at this right here. It says healthcare premiums will increase by 2.4%. Oops, 2.4%. Members will pay 15% of premiums. Okay, here's the issue. And again, I've said this multiple times over the past week. There's multiple problems with this tentative agreement. This is number one. Look at this. The agreement provides one additional personal day of leave. Okay. Now, it allows members to attend three annual routine or preventive health care visits. Three in a year. Okay, that's it. 3. But there's a little more of an issue here. Here it is. However, those appointments must be scheduled at least 30 days in advance, and it must take place on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday. Do you see an issue with this? I do. First off, I can tell you right now, how easy is it to get your pick of appointments? Because right now we're still dealing with COVID, right? Even though a lot of people say it's over. President Biden said, yeah, we're out of this, right? But we are still dealing with that. And you go into the doctor, what do they want you to do? They want to make sure that you are COVID free. And maybe you had a test. That you had a test prior to coming in to show that you were negative. Well, how easy is it to get in on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? Sometimes it's difficult. It is very difficult to get in. And so now, these workers, those are the only 3 days that they can actually set an appointment. It's not good. Also, you have to schedule it 30 days in advance. Now, I don't know about you, but let's say you're not feeling great and you need to get into the doctor. Well, should I just schedule an appointment every week so that for 30 days in advance, so that just in case in a month I'm not feeling well, I can go to that appointment? That's pretty much what they're saying. Now, I want to show you this. It says right here, and so this is actually coming from something Hauger. He's out of the North Center, the railroads out of Idaho. But he said this. Now that he's read the tentative agreement, he feels that it was a behind-the-scenes political deal-making aimed at protecting Democrats ahead of the midterm elections. How many times have I said that? Honestly, how many times have I said that was what was going to happen? That just because it's a tentative deal does not mean that the members are going to accept it. Now, I do not work for the railroads, and I honestly have no clue what's going on there outside of what I read, the research that I've done, and talking to people. And here's what people have told me. They're not going to accept this deal. That workers will not accept this deal. Now, there's probably a handful, okay, I don't even want to say a handful, there's probably 2 to 3 unions out of the 12 that will accept this tentative agreement. However, the major ones, like Smart, TD, they are not going to accept this deal. I also want to read you this. Okay, look at this. He says right here, this was 100% a way to avert a strike by an industry that is the very backbone of our nation's economy prior to the midterms. And that is true. He also said, it would have been an absolute death knell for the Dems had we gone on strike. Had we. There's still a chance that they will. Okay? It is a very big chance. High likelihood they're going to go on strike. Okay? But when it comes to whether he's going to vote yes or no, well, he plans to vote no. He is not going to vote yes. Okay? Be very clear on that. He's not going to vote yes. This is a similar sentiment amongst many railroad workers. Thanks for the tentative agreement, for the tentative deal. It's good progress, but it's not good enough. And that's where some say, and I want to show you this one right here, okay, because this is the main thing right here, that they say it doesn't address the most critical issue at hand, quality of life for railroad workers. That's the big thing, quality of life. And I've said this multiple times before, unless they fix this, there's no way workers are going to accept it. And I can tell you right now, okay, this is not okay. This right here, this does not work. Okay? Yeah, that's great that we get one additional day of personal leave. But if we have to schedule it at least 30 days in advance and schedule on one of these 3 days, okay, I tell you right now, they will not accept it. And that's exactly the same statements I've been getting from many of you community members that are saying you work for the railroad or you know somebody that does, and that's exactly what they're saying. After they've seen the tentative agreement, no, they're not going to accept it. So here's what I can tell you. Even though the Biden administration came out and said, yeah, deal's done, all good to go, it's not a done deal. The agreement between the carriers and the unions, that was supposed to be a done deal. But again, the unions do not get to decide for the workers. The workers get to decide. That's the problem. And workers are going to stand. They're going to stand their ground. They're going to make sure they get what they deserve. I can tell you right now, these workers that have been working at the same rate for the past 2 to 3 years, they deserve a raise. They deserve time off. Okay? And here's the other thing, and I don't know if many people knew this, and I just want to touch on this really quick, but one of the things that people started to really kind of gravitate towards is why health is so important. Because over the past 2 years, we've been seeing so many reports, and Democrats have been big on this, is we need to make sure our mental health, right, our personal health, it's in order. Well, the problem is right now it's not. For many people, it's not. And so let me see if I can find this really quick, because again, this is part of the problem, is what we're seeing is people can't go into the doctor. They don't know if they're sick. Well, this is what happened back in June. Is somebody actually, he died of a heart attack, and it's right here. Let me read it to you really quick. Okay, you can see it right here. The importance of medical leave for railroad workers is underscored in a September 17th story by the Washington Post about a BNSF worker who put off a medical appointment and died of a heart attack weeks later on June 16th. Now, that's a problem. That is a major problem. When you put off a medical appointment, and it could be a big one, and then all of a sudden, you die. You're dead. What if that appointment that you would have went to would have fixed that? Would have got the doctors to be like, you know what? You need additional testing. You need some blood work. You need something else because you're not in good health. That's why it's so important. All right? So that's all you know this time. Honestly, we need to be prepared for a mega strike, because if this doesn't get agreed on, which as of right now it will not, expect the U.S. economy to collapse. Expect stores to not get the products that they need. Expect farmers to not get their equipment, get fertilizer. Expect water treatment plants to not get the chlorine that they need to make sure the water is clean. Expect planes to not get delivered. And I know you're thinking, well, planes, Boeing's not delivering much anyway, and I get it. But at the same time, this will hurt the economy. And they say it's going to hurt about $2 billion per day. Might actually be more than that. So, as we get more information as to what's going on there, I promise I will fill you in on all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.